Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a little DIY with you for Valentine's Day. I had a lot of Amazon boxes left over from the holiday season with all of the deliveries I was getting from different gifts that I was getting for myself and for other people, and so I wanted to use one of them and see what I could create. So this was all just with stuff that I had in my closet. So basically how I started out on this project was that I took a medium-sized Amazon box and I cut it into even strips. Each strip had a pair, so two of each would make a one complete box, and each strip would need to be bent into three equal pieces. And so basically you would make a U shape with one piece and a U shape with the other piece, and then bend them together so that they formed a cube. And I just used some packing tape to adhere the cubes to each other and basically make this basic shape. And then after I do this, I go on to the next step to make it a little bit more pretty looking. So on the second cube that I made, I decided to pre-cut the pieces of packing tape to make it easier for me to grab them and put them on the cube. I just felt like it was easier to work with it like that. And I don't know, as I always do crafts, I kind of develop a little strategy, as I'm sure you all do. So as you go along, you get a little bit better at it. Also, as you can see, all my boxes are not exactly perfect. I didn't even use a ruler or anything. So I was basically using my eye and the little lines that are built into the corrugation of the boxes to make them even and trim them as I went along, getting rid of any pieces that are extra along the sides so that when I form them into the cubes, they make as perfect of a cube as possible. This project is to make 4 cubes, so for each cube you'll be needing 2 strips of the brown cardboard paper taken from the Amazon box, and each of those 2 strips for the cube will be folded into 3 using 2 creases. Each of the 3 pieces of the strip will be equal, and in the end you'll need 8 of these strips, 2 strips for each box, so it will be 4 pairs making 8 strips. Take your time making each of the strips as even as possible, as once you start bending them and taping them into place to form the cubes, it's important that all of the sides of the cubes are even, otherwise you're going to have a wonky looking cube. So if you need to, just layer them on top of each other like I'm doing here and cut off any excess on the side. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect because they are supposed to look like little gifts at the end of the day, but you don't want them to look totally crazy. So definitely do as good of a job with this as you can. So finally here you see me finishing my 4th cube, and I'm ready for the next step of my project. It was at this point that I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do because I was looking at the boxes and they weren't exactly perfectly even, and also I was looking at the inventory of supplies I had and realized that I did not have any white chalk paint or acrylic paint, so I was going to need to do something else to make the boxes look attractive enough before I started putting any kind of other design elements on it. I had to make some kind of smooth base, and so I was just here thinking it over until I finally looked in my closet and I saw this brown packaging paper that I had, and I thought it might just be perfect. So what I started to do was I put one of the boxes on the paper and I cut out a piece that I thought would be a perfect size for gift wrapping it, just like any birthday or Christmas present that you would be wrapping, and I cut 4 exact pieces to match. That way I wouldn't need to waste time in between wrapping each package. I would have all of my wrappings ready to go, and then I could move on to the next step. Once I finished cutting my 4 equal pieces, I went ahead and put my brown packing paper away, and I set a single piece out on the table and placed one of the cubes in the middle of the paper and started proceeding to gift wrap it like a normal gift that I would at any time of year. Basically, you put the gift in the middle, fold 2 pieces of the paper over and tape, and then you take the sides and fold them into kind of the triangular like shapes and fold those pieces up on the side and tape them again. I'm sorry, I'm not too good at explaining how to gift wrap. I guess it's just kind of an intuitive thing for me at this point, but yeah, if you do need help with that, there is plenty of great YouTube tutorials out there just describing how to wrap gifts like a pro. So just watch me struggle with it. So keep in mind that you might need to trim some additional pieces off the ends of the paper as you're wrapping it to make sure that the ends aren't too thick when you're folding them in and taping them down. You don't want too much extra paper, otherwise the packages become bulky and they're going to be hard to balance and stack on top of each other, which is the end goal of this whole craft, is to make a set of stacked boxes as the decor. So after you finish doing the first box, you're going to go ahead and do that 3 more times on the other 3 boxes to make 4 boxes total. That's going to be 4 cubes that you're going to use to stack up on top of each other. And the 4 cubes are going to be used to make the main structure of the Valentine's Day SweetHeart box stackable decor. So finally, when you have your 4 cubes all wrapped up and all of the ugly seams of the Amazon box hidden away, you're going to want to start stacking them up and see how they're going to stack back. Some of the boxes are going to be not so even, as we mentioned in the beginning, so you might need to play with them to see which one sits best on the bottom and which one sits best second, and so on. So yeah, I spent a couple of minutes playing around with the order of them, and I turned my hot glue gun on in the meantime to get heated up, so whenever I was ready to start stacking them, I would have my tool ready to go. So when you finally have your cubes ordered up how you want them and your glue gun heated up, make sure you are ready to put a lot of glue on the top of the bottom box. You want to make sure that it's secure and put as much glue as you feel is going to be necessary to do that. I did it all along the edges, but I also made sure I didn't do it in the corners of the boxes, because as you can see, I'm stacking them in a catty corner kind of way, and the corners are going to be sticking out, and I don't want to see the glue on those surfaces. So yeah, I kind of did the glue more towards the center and then left just the corners without any glue to make sure that it was sufficiently secured. You're going to glue all the boxes on top of each other one by one, just how you did the first one. If you have a mini glue gun like me, you're going to be going through a lot of glue and you're going to have to replace your glue stick several times. I will link the place where I got this glue gun down below. It's from Amazon and it was less than $10, so if you're looking for a cheap glue gun to add to your arsenal, then definitely this is the one, and it works really great. The only thing is you do have to reload it often because the glue sticks are kind of small, but to me that didn't really matter. So yeah, just keep repeating the process until you get to the 4th and top cube, and once again make sure that you're putting enough glue to make sure the items are secure on top of each other, and make sure you're pushing down and holding them while they dry for the couple of seconds that they need to dry, just to make sure that your structure is secure when you're all said and done with it. Once you have all 4 boxes glued to each other, I just wanted to go back around and fill in any spots that I feel needed extra glue, such as some of the edges that maybe I didn't get close to because I didn't want any overflow. So just go in as you feel like you need to and fill in any kind of spaces that aren't sticking down super secure. You want it as secure as possible so that it doesn't tip over, because it is already a tall structure, so you definitely don't want any extra wibbly wobblies. So yeah guys, these are my 4 cubes assembled as I wanted them, kind of a topsy-turvy kind of look, kind of a, hey, I threw these boxes in the corner, but they look pretty cute kind of look. So yeah. The next step I went into was the spray paint. This was the only paint I had on hand, and I found that it did work pretty well. So I put on some gloves, turned off my glue gun because safety first, guys. And then I went ahead and I spray painted the item outside. Do not breathe in the fumes. So yeah, here's my final product. It took 2 to 3 coats of the spray paint, and yeah, it's looking pretty sweet at this point, and I finally have a base that I can use. What I did next was I found these cute little designs online that are shaped like SweetHeart, SweetHeart candies, and they have all these cute little sayings on them, and I started cutting out my favorite ones. I knew I was going to use almost all of them, but not exactly all of them, and I wanted to make sure I used my absolute favorite sayings. So yeah, I went ahead and picked up the ones I liked one by one, trying to keep the number of pinks, yellows, purples, greens, and oranges that I used even, so that the color was evenly distributed across my project. Go ahead and take your time cutting these out because you don't want them to look sloppy on the boxes. I definitely wanted to get as close to the edge of the heart design as possible without clipping off any of the actual design, because to me nothing looks worse than a wonky looking heart. You do need 16 of these to cover all 16 sides of the cubes, plus 2 that I'm going to put on top, so that's going to be 18 hearts total that you're going to need to cut out. So just take your time, settle in, and it's actually not bad. It's kind of therapeutic. I actually had some other YouTube DIY videos playing in the background for inspiration while I worked, and yeah, it was pleasurable for sure. So once you have all 18 of your hearts cut out, it's time to look at your box structure and decide where you're going to put each of the hearts that you cut out. So I started at the top, or what I wanted to be on the very front when I thought it was done. Even though it is a 360 design, you know, you always have your favorite side. So I picked a pink one as my first one, and I settled in to arrange the hearts as I saw fit. I kind of did this moving up and down the box so that I could spread the colors out as I wanted them to, seeing how I thought they looked most aesthetically pleasing. So this is kind of up to personal preference. I didn't like repeating any of the same colors on the same boxes, and that's kind of what I went with. And yeah, but it's totally up to you, and you can do it however you like it. Maybe some people would like putting all greens on one side and all pinks on one side, or all pinks on one cube and all purples on cube 2. Yada yada. But yeah, I liked mine more in a variety type of look, and I think it ended up looking really super cute, so I do hope that you like the way that I did it. So yay, finally at this point in the project you can actually see it kind of coming along, and I'm starting to get excited. You can tell that it's a Valentine's Day project, and yeah, I hope you guys are loving it as much as I am. Please drop your comments below, any suggestions, tips, or tricks, things that you liked, things that you didn't like, but hopefully more things that you liked. And happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Happy crafting. So yeah, at this point I finally was finishing up putting all of my hearts on, and now it was time to do my next step, was to embellish the boxes. So I had these really cute diamond buttons that I had bought to make Christmas ornaments with, and they were just sitting in my closet, and like I said, this is a project where I'm just using everything that I have inside my arts and crafts supply closet to just try and clean it out. So yeah, I used these cute little diamond buttons, and I started using my hot glue gun, making a really super big blob right on the exposed corners of the cube, and placing the diamonds in catty corners so that they would fit in and just snuggle in on those little mini shelves that the boxes had created. I did this as I saw fit, so use your own creative design and aesthetic, but yeah, I thought they looked really cute like this in pairs. On the bottom cube I did do 3 just because I felt like the opening was really big and it was just a bigger little shelf that the box is created. But yeah, do as you see fit and kind of put them here and there to make them sparkle and shine as you want them to. To me, the more bling the better, so I probably did go a little bit over the top, but I did end up liking it in the end. So yeah, I hope you like it too, guys. So the next thing I wanted to do was put some kind of flower arrangement on the top where I had the 2 hearts placed that said his and hers. And so I started picking out just the pink flower petals I had out of this big bag of flower petals. Most of them were red, but I did have just enough pink to do the project, and I thought the pink matched really cute. So I went ahead and separated all of those pink petals, and then I got set up to make my flower on the top. So how I did this was I just chose a spot on the box where I was going to make the flower, and I started putting the roses in a circular pattern around and around, so you kind of layer them on top of each other. I didn't really get great footage of this, but you know, you just kind of place them on top of each other and stack them in a flower-like shape. You guys know how flower petals are supposed to look in a flower, and can use your imagination. This part is up to you, and it's totally creative and extra. If you don't want to do this, you totally don't have to, but I just wanted to use these rose petals, and I thought it gave it a cute extra look if anyone was looking at the craft from the top and not from the side. After I finished laying down the pink petals, I did decide I wanted a few more crystals up at the top and inside the flower. I placed them inside the different levels of the flower petals I had created to make the flower more 3D since it was kind of flat on top, and I just placed them every which way. I'll admit I wasn't like 100% happy with how this turned out, but in the end, and after sleeping on it when I looked at it the next day, I thought it was pretty freaking cute. So I guess you can't really make any mistakes, and anything you do is going to look great at the end of the day. Hope you guys like it. And so yay, here we are finally at the end of the DIY craft. Here it is from the top and from the side. I think it looks super cute and is perfect for Valentine's Day. You can put it in your entryway or in your dining room, in your living room, on the floor, on a table, on a bookshelf, anywhere you really want it to go. Again, it was made out of just an Amazon box that I was going to throw away or recycle anyways, and with random things I had in my closet. So for that, I think it turned out so awesome and cute, and it just looks great with my other springtime / Valentine's Day decor. Any kind of decor that you have that is pink and love centric, I think it's going to look great. So please sound off in the comments below and let me know what you truly do think of this craft, and if you guys give it a try at home, please do post your pictures in the comments or explain to me how it went for you. I'd love to hear all of your feedback and how it went for you guys. Oh, also, you know, I have to ask, please subscribe, like, comment, and all that good stuff. And I hope you have a super great Valentine's Day, and I hope you did enjoy this DIY for 2020 for Valentine's Day. This is my SweetHeart stackable box home decor, and I hope you love it. Okay, have a great day, guys. Bye.